Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation 8th Air Force, turn 13.4, Japan. It is July 1942. Japan has 2 tech roles. I will be trying for radar at a 7 or higher. I'm at stage 3 currently. My second role will be for long-range aircraft at an 8 or higher. I'm at stage 2. Purchases. Japan has 68 IPP to spend. I will purchase 1 militia for 2, 6 infantry for 18, that's 20, 1 medium armor for 6, that's 26, and 7 stages of heavy battleships for 42. So I have 2 stages that I'll start. I'll start 2. I will advance 3 from stage 3 to stage 2, that's 5, and then I'll complete 2 heavy battleships. That'll bring me up to 7. Combat movement. Well, first, there's this fortification that Randall forgot to place. He is placing it in, he said Picardy, but he already has one in Picardy. Maybe he means Belgium. I thought he was going to put it in Picardy, but it looks like he already has one in Picardy, so never mind. Randall still has to, or I'm sorry, Sergeant Shellhole still has to tell us where that Fortress Europa fortification is going. Okay, combat movement. Here in India, from Burma, 14 infantry and 1 artillery will move into Bengal. That'll bring Japan up to 54, and it will drop FEC to 6. All right, while we're down here, I'm going to be using my medium bomber from British Malaya. It'll fly 1 to I-12, 2 to southern India, 3 to Benares, and it's going to perform strategic bombing of the rail between the border of Benares and Delhi, right there on that side. So snip that rail right there as it tries to leave Delhi. And then fly back and land here in British Malaya. Let's see. Okay, from British Malaya, these 3 tactical bombers will fly out to Sea Zone P50 to conduct convoy raiding in P50. From Sea Zone I-10, a torpedo boat destroyer and naval transport carrying 2 Marines will move up 2 spaces here to I-11 and conduct an amphibious assault on Ceylon. If I'm successful, I will go in port in Ceylon. From Sea Zone P50, 2 fighters will come off the carrier and fly 1-2 to Ceylon, and they will land back in British Malaya. So I'll have 2 Marines, 2 fighters. Ceylon is jungle. And my last combat is here in Sea Zone I-10. This fighter is going to come, is going to fly to Sea Zone I-14, go on map, while this light carrier and destroyer move over to I-13. And then after my 1 shot at the sub, it'll fly back and land on the light carrier there. All right, that's everything. Let's do some rolling. Guess I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so what do I have for combat? 3 tactical bombers. Red is the attacker, white is the defender. So I have a +1 for being an aircraft, and he has +3 because he has radar, long range, and anti-sub warfare. So white is the defender. Nothing. Second roll. Nothing. Third roll. Nothing. Okay. They'll land back in British Malaya. Let's do the attack into Ceylon. I have 2 Marines at 2, and 2, both miss, and 2 fighters at 6. Both miss. He has 1 militia at 2. Miss. 2 at 2. Almost, and 2 at 6. Hit, and he's got 1 at 2. Miss. Okay, so I do take Ceylon with 2 Marines. That's not worth anything. And then these guys will go in port there. The planes land back, the fighters land back in British Malaya. All right, so non-combat movement. From Sea Zone P15, 2 fighters are going to come off that carrier and land in Korea. Here they are. I was looking on my task force cards for where those fighters were. All right, from Sea Zone P15, the fleet carrier and 2 heavy battleships will now move down to P50, and they'll go on the task force card there. Let's see if I can't get that chip there. All right, what is next? Oh, from Honshu, this seaplane is going to fly down to Sumatra. So 1 to P15, 2 to P32, 3 to P41, 4 to P50, 5 to Sumatra. All these other aircraft are on British Malaya, just this guy is on Sumatra. From Sea Zone P34, this destroyer is going to move 2 spaces down to P46, pick up the Marine from Caroline Islands, and move its 3rd space over to P43, and drop off the Marine in Guam. From Sea Zone P34, this torpedo boat destroyer will go down and join that destroyer. From Caroline Islands, 1 torpedo boat destroyer will leave port to Sea Zone P46 and then move over to P50. Join the task force card. Okay. From Korea, 2 infantry begin to de-escalate the tension on the Soviet border by strategic rail moving to Burma. So they go all along China here, down into Cochin China, over to Siam, and then over to Burma. from Anam Tonkin, 3 infantry move over to Burma. So that's a total of 5 infantry, which is a red chip. And from Siam, 5 infantry move up into Burma. So I have 10 infantry there. Let's de-escalate the tension further here. From Eastern Manchuria, 2 infantry will move to Rihe, and from Rihe, 2 infantry will move to Suyan. So I will add 2 infantry to Suyan, which will bring me up to 9 infantry in Suyan. From British Malaya, 1 infantry moves to Siam. From Kyushu, 1 naval transport will leave port carrying 2 infantry, and then it will move down 2 spaces to P41, drop off 2 infantry in in Anam Tonkin, and go in port in Kwang Tung. And another naval transport will leave Kwang Tung to P41 and move up. Strategic naval move up 2 spaces to P15, grab 2 more infantry, come down and go in port in Kwang Tung. It'll drop off the 2 in Anam Tonkin. So I hope that makes sense. 4 infantry get transported to Anam Tonkin. 2 naval transports end up there. And then I guess it should, right now, it'll look like 3 are in there. 1 of them hasn't moved, so it will leave port and then move up 1 to P32, 2 to P15, 3 to P16, and it will go in port in Tokyo. From Sea Zone P50, 1 naval transport will move up 3 spaces to P15, pick up that last infantry, drop it off in Korea, and then go import, drop it off in Korea, and then go import in the shipyard in Kyushu. Okay. I think that's everything. 1 there, 2 there, 2 there. Okay. From Sea Zone I-8, 1 submarine will move to I-12. The other submarine will move to I-7. Let me decline this call. Usually I remember to turn off my phone. Okay, over here in Italian Somaliland, 1 fighter will fly to British Malaya. From Cape Town, from South Africa, 1 infantry will move to Cape Town. There's now 2 infantry in Cape Town. All right, placement of units. While we're down here, we're going to put 1 militia in Cape Town. So I'll have 1 militia, 2 infantry in Cape Town. All right, here in British Malaya, I will add an infantry. Nope, I will add a medium armor. In Rihi, I will add an infantry. That'll bring me to 3 infantry there. In Kyushu, I will build 2 infantry. And in Tokyo, I will build 3 infantry. Also in Tokyo, that's where I'll complete the 2 heavy battleships. And then I'll place 2 heavy battleships at stage 3 on the build queue and advance 3 heavy battleships from stage 3 to stage 2 on the build queue. So on the build queue, I've got 3 at stage 2 and 2 at stage 3. Okay, collect income. I have 54 IPP plus 14 bonus, so I have 68 for next turn. Disposition. South Sakhalin Island, 1 militia. Tokyo, 4 infantry, 2 heavy battleships, 1 naval transport. Kyushu, 2 infantry, 1 naval transport in port. Korea, 1 infantry, 2 fighters. Rihi, 3 infantry. Suyeon, 1 militia, 9 infantry. While we're... Oh, I forgot. I'm going to move these 5 infantry. I want to move 5 infantry from Kwangtung to Anamtonkin. Yeah. So in Kwangtung, I have 2 militia, 6 infantry, 1 mountain infantry, 2 cavalry, 2 marines, 1 motorized infantry, 1 artillery, 3 heavy battleships, and 2 naval transports in port. I'm going to add a red ship here to Anamtonkin. So in Anamtonkin, I have 9 infantry. Let's just run. I think we didn't do Northern Manchuria militia, Western Manchuria militia, Rihi 1 militia, 3 infantry, Hopei 1 militia, Shangtung militia, Hunan militia, Kwangtung 2 militia. Oh, I already did Kwangtung, sorry. Let's see. Let's before we come to British Malaya and all that, let's go over here. Okinawa militia, Volcano Islands militia, Bonin Islands militia, Caroline Islands militia, Guam 2 Marines, Sea Zone P-43, a destroyer and torpedo boat destroyer, Palau a militia, Dutch New Guinea militia, New Guinea militia, New Britain militia, Sea Zone P-59, a coastal submarine. Let's see. Sea Zone P-50, 2 submarines, 1 coastal submarine, 2 naval transports, 1 heavy fleet carrier, 2 fleet carriers, 1 light carrier, 2 heavy battleships, 2 light cruisers, 2 destroyers, 3 battleships, 1 battle cruiser, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. In Sumatra, 1 seaplane. In British Malaya, 9 Marines, 1 medium bomber, 3 fighters, 3 tactical bombers, 1 medium bomber. In Siam, 1 militia, 1 infantry. In Anamtonkin, 9 infantry. In Burma, 10 infantry. In Bengal, 14 infantry and an artillery. In Ceylon, 2 Marines and a torpedo boat destroyer and naval transport in port. In Sea Zone I-7, a submarine, and Sea Zone I-12, a submarine. In Sea Zone I-13, 1... Oh, I forgot to roll for this sub, but there's 1 light carrier with a fighter and a destroyer, so I forgot to roll for that sub. I got one shot at 6. Oh, and I think I forgot to roll for my tech. Hit. Okay, so my tech is radar and long-range aircraft. First roll is for radar. Success. And second roll is for long-range aircraft. Fail. Okay, so I had radar when I did my bombing things, but I think I rolled abysmally. I think I rolled 2 1s. I don't think it made a difference. So Japan has completed radar. And then I did kill that sub. Okay. So I think I've done my disposition. So I guess next up is Hambone with turn 13.5 Commonwealth and 13.6 France.